Naturally you, naturally me, naturally golden, naturally free. I got the style, I got the grace, I got the looks, I got the face. Pour up some wine, time to unwind. I'm here to talk, what's on your mind? Good conversation, let's talk relations. Good fun debating, I feel amazing. Naturally me, I'm naturally free. Naturally me, naturally me.
And welcome to Naturally Me. I am your host, Veronica Smith-Creer, and I'm joined by one of my special sunshine sisters, Mr. Lily Clemens Revels. I'm so glad to have you here.
And it is a joy for me to be here.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. One of the things I like to do on Naturally Me is my hairstyle because I am naturally natural. And today I have it kind of in an updo, and this is a twist out that's been twisted out for a little while. And the bigger it gets, the more I like it. So it is on the verge of being big.
It looks good on you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, we are still somewhat in the holiday season. That's the truth. So Lily and I have had a lot of discussions about a lot of different things. But one of the things that we've discussed quite a bit is grief. And during the holiday season, we're in a time where many people are experiencing that. And Lily, I'm just going to give you an opportunity to just kind of segue into why you and I have had the conversation about grief so much.
Me and Veronica's had a lot of conversations about grief. I lost my husband suddenly November the 21st, 2021. And I was just all over the place. And sometimes people that you're around and surround yourself with, they don't understand the grieving process. So many of them want you to hurry up and get back to normal, hurry up and get over this. But what they fail to realize is that you'll never be normal concerning the loss of a loved one. And so many times, family and friends, they don't understand the crying. They don't understand that you're still in denial about it. They don't understand why sometimes you even want to bargain with God. If you do this and bring him back and just one more day, one more hour, I'm this and I'll be that. But that's just a process of grief. And it's never easy. It seems to never end. And I just feel like grief will be a part of my life. Not saying that I'll cry every day about it or mope around every day about it. But at some points, through the weeks, through the months, I have a thought of him and I'll cry. But as family and friends, gather around this time of year, it's just important for them to understand that there may be some times when you just can't cope. You just can't get it. You don't understand sometimes the changes that even go on in your body seem like your taste buds change. The same foods you used to enjoy, you don't enjoy those foods anymore. So grief is really something that we must understand.
And that's true. And you would think that it's something that's more prevalent, that people would have a better understanding of it through the years. But I think we're living in a society now where it's even more that people don't understand about grief. We're in that microwave, society where everything is supposed to be instant.
Yes. And everybody's experience about grief is different.
That's it.
There are some days when I get through the day, don't have a thought of Benny, and I am good.
Yeah.
And then there's a day I have a thought of something he even said or look at something that he treasured and I fall to my knees. And there are a lot of our family and friends doesn't understand because they're saying, well, girl, it's been a year, seems like you would be better. There are days I am better.
That's right.
And there are some days I'm not. And I stress to my family all the time about once it happens, everybody's there. You just can't hardly shut your door before someone else comes through. And when it first happened, you're sometimes in denial to the point that you say, why are these people at my house? And then it has to settle in your spirit that you've lost someone. After the service, people tend to disappear. You don't get any more phone calls. You don't get any more visits. And that is when the family needs you most.
Right.
That is when that person needs you most, because at that time is when it settles on them that they're not coming back.
That's it.
And I don't have nobody to share that with, because everybody thinks after you bury them that you're okay.
Oh, yes. But that's the beginning of it. And that's what people need to realize, because just like you mentioned, when someone passes away, everybody, we're in the society now where everybody puts everything on Facebook. You know that someone has passed away. Everybody's at the house. Everybody's bringing food. Everybody's eating food.
Right.
Let's just be clear and be transparent about
Right.
that. And then, like you said, when we make it to the service and when that casket is lowered into the ground, that, for many, is the beginning of grief, because that, for those who are burying their loved ones, that's the final thing where they are not coming back.
They are not coming back.
During the service, even before the service, you're taking clothes, you're making programs, you're picking flowers, you're doing all of that, you're coordinating the family.
Yes.
But when that last thing happens, that's when the grief sets in.
That's when the
because
grief.
that is the end.
That
And
is
so
the
people really need to understand. And I'm gonna just say this, because you mentioned there are different types of grief and we grieve different ways. I've not lost a spouse, but I've lost a mother, a father, a sister, a mother-in-law, and all of those are different.
It is different.
All of
It
those
is
are
different. Benny and I spent 44 years together. That's someone that you're eating with, you're sleeping with, you're having disagreements with, because there were some days Benny Rebels didn't like me, some days I didn't like Benny Rebels. But our love that we had for each other, it was genuine. No matter what, he was there for me and I was there for him. And those moments when you just don't know how to shake it, that's like going to the closet and you're looking at his clothes and knowing that you got to make a move. You got to get those things out of there. But once you open the closet door and you smell that cologne that he wore, either you see a favorite jacket that you just can't part, because it's like you're getting rid of them all over again. And so there are so many different parts of grief. And I think I've experienced all of them and some. The anger part of it, not so much of being angry with God, but you're angry with the person that left. They didn't give you no heads up. No heads up whatsoever. We are laying in the bed watching a movie, just talking with each other. And he said, let me go get in the bathtub before I get sleepy. And I left to go in the den. I didn't hear him anymore because he makes a lot of noise in the house. I went to check on him, opened the bathroom door. He's just sitting there. And so I said, you came in here and went to sleep for real. And he didn't acknowledge that I said anything. And I walked over and touched him. I said, I don't like it when you don't answer me.
Right.
And he was already gone. From the bed to the bathtub. And that was the end of it. And so many times I think about, what if I had never left the bedroom? What if he had never gotten up? And my children, they're my backbone through all of this. They're just always there for encouragement and, and giving me scriptures. And my daughter told me, she said, Mom, Daddy wasn't supposed to be in the bed with you when he left. So all of us got a place that we're going to be when we get the call. His place was in the bathtub.
That's it.
That was where he met the Lord. So it's just understanding the grief, understanding the people that are around you that are grieving, and don't put your ideas off on them.
Right.
There are some people, they don't connect hardly with anything or anybody. So if you're grieving around them, they find a problem with that. And I've gotten to the place to where I'm going to grieve how I want to grieve, for however long I want to grieve. And that is what I would give to anybody else. And as I tell my family all the time, just be present. Just be present. No matter what happens, how long it takes, just be present.
That's it.
If I can't speak a word while we're sitting there, just be present.
That's it. That's it.
More than anything, just be present.
And again, I don't think we really understand. And you mentioned something that we put our ideas or even our thoughts or our way of doing things off on other people.
Sure.
And that's one of the things that we have to acknowledge, because even as a married woman, our marriage is not like yours and Benny's was. So I can't say, well, Lily, you just need to get over this. You've had a year.
Yeah.
Because I'm still here with Bobby. That's number one. And then maybe our relationship was not the same
True.
as yours and Benny. So people have to give you room to grieve in your own way. I realized this when my mother passed away. And you feel how you feel when you feel it.
When you feel it.
You don't know, you mentioned some days are good days. And I came up with, all days are good days, but some moments may not be, the best.
Yeah.
So we have to understand, like you said, it could be a smell, it could be a conversation, it could be a song, it could be a movie. Some of those things are triggers. And although sometimes they may make us sad, we yearn for something that brings them back to us in some type of way. You mentioned even about, you all having been married so many years. Even in the marriage ceremony, it says two become one.
Right.
So that relationship and that grief is going to look different from a parent or a sibling. So we have to understand that the process does not end.
It does not end.
It does not end. And there are some stages that that we know. Disbelief and shock. That's the very beginning.
Yes, that's the beginning.
The denial, because how is this? Why is this?
Yeah,
How
that is
could
true.
this be?
That's true.
And none of these have a time frame
They don't.
to them. Some people are in shock for months.
True.
We just don't know. And then the guilt and the pain. And I want to stop right there for a few minutes, because that is something that I think that we overlook. The guilt and the pain. You spoke about how Benny left. I'm reminded of the situation with my sister. And Demetrius she had sickle cell disease and went back and forth to the hospital several times. So the very last time she went in, our family, we're thinking, oh, she's done this before. She's coming out. And, you don't always prioritize, because it was homecoming weekend and I had gone to the game and I had gone to the Elks Lodge and danced, and then the next day it was homecoming at Magnolia and I hung out with friends, and then that night they were talking about taking her to Little Rock. And so we're thinking, okay, she's gonna go to Little Rock, she's gonna be fine. Well, when she gets to Little Rock, everything is not fine. So Demetrius never got out of the hospital, but initially there was that guilt. You spent the whole weekend having fun. You could have been there by your sister's side. Demetrius was asleep. She wouldn't have even known I was there. But I could have been there. But that guilt, I couldn't have changed anything. Just like you said, your children share with you, had he stayed in the bed, had you all stayed in the bed. There is a time for everything.
Everything.
And we can't beat ourselves up with guilt and the pain, but it's a process.
It's a process. And we do. We do, because right by the bathroom door is a chair. The chair is still there. That is where I would sit while he was in the tub. But that particular night, I said, I'm going to go in the den to finish watching this movie, because he makes a lot of noise when he's getting ready to get in the tub. And so I left to go to the den. And I didn't hear him, because, he makes a lot of noise, and I didn't hear him. And sometime when I go in my bedroom now, and I see that chair, I immediately say, I shouldn't have never left him. Maybe he got in distress. And by me not being back there, I didn't hear him being in distress. So it's a lot of things that go along with the grieving process.
Yes.
The guilt of me not being there. I think about on these cold mornings, I don't hear him clinking his coffee cup, because he made coffee every morning. So there's those little sounds you listen to. I don't hear him sliding through the house. Through the house with his house shoes. And I used to tell him all the time, if mother was your mother, you would pick your feet. You would pick your feet up. So it's those sounds you miss, and you hate you ever said anything to them about it, because it's those sounds I wish I had now. I wish I could hear him slide down the hall and say little old things, or either when I'm entering under the garage and he meet me at the door and he want to tell me about the pictures he had watched on TV. And he used to always want to tell me about the dumbest criminals. And I would tell him, would you please give me time to get in the house a chance to come down from my day, and then you can tell me whatever you want to. But so many times now, when I come out that garage, I wish he was there, telling me, and I would stand right there, and I would listen to him tell me. But it's things that have passed, and they didn't happen. So I'm good at bringing myself back to where I need to be. I don't let it get me and tear me up like it used to. So I'm in a healing process, not healed.
That's it.
But I'm in a healing process. And my children are there to, give me advice, and my daughter especially, she wants me to, if I'm going to start dating, what I need to do, the process. It is just really something. It is really something. But I miss him immensely. I will never, ever forget being in Rebels because, as I tell you, he had a personality out of this world. And for those people that knew him, first initial of to know him, they would say, "Oh, he don't talk. He just sit up here." Yeah.
Get to know
Ask
him.
a family member, get to know him. And he will talk. And he always very comical. He could keep you laughing. And that is one thing I miss, to go home and to lay up and he's telling me something funny. And so you miss so much of that.
Right.
But all of that goes with the grieving
That's
process.
it. That's it.
The remembering it goes with the
Oh
grieving
yes,
process.
and that's part of it that keeps us going. You mentioned about the bargaining, and if you do this, I'll do that.
Yes.
And if you let them come back one more time, and we've
I'll
all
show
had
you.
those thoughts.
Yes.
We've all done it,
Yeah.
with so many different things, and even beyond the grief process, I think we all try to bargain. Lord, if you let me do this, we all have been there.
That is
we
true.
have all been
That
there.
is so true.
The
So
anger
true.
is definitely something that, and I think sometimes as Christians, it's hard for us to acknowledge that we're angry. That we're angry. Sometimes we're angry at God. We're angry.
Yeah.
Why did you take him now?
Yeah.
Why didn't and I have gone through things, not that I've been angry, and I know God is big enough for us to ask him a question. But even with me running for mayor, both my parents and my sister had gone on to be with the Lord. And there were many times where I'm like, oh, I wish they were here to see this.
to see this.
I wish I could see them seeing it, you know. And so we have that anger, like, why couldn't you have waited, Lord? Or Daddy, why didn't you take care of yourself, Dad? Or Mama, why didn't you tell me? And,
True.
all of those things. But we come to be able to reconcile those feelings.
Right.
If we let the Lord do what he does, and if we're willing to go through the process, because it is all part of the process. And then, of course, the depression, and then we come to the acceptance.
Yeah.
And even with the acceptance, it's still a process.
It's a process.
Still
It's
a
a
process.
process. Depression, a lot of people, they run from that word. But I went through it because there are some days, as much as you want people to reach out, you don't want to be bothered with people.
That's it.
It's like you don't even want to get up. You want to pull the covers over your head and imagine that it did not happen. And once you clear your head, everything's back to normal. But it's not. It is so hard to get through the depression part. And we do suffer depression.
Yes.
A lot of people don't want to admit it, but we do suffer depression. And I'd much rather experience that than to be in denial and do something to harm myself.
That's right.
So talking it through, letting people know what part hurts, what words hurt, your treatment, how that hurts. And a lot of people don't like to talk to others when they have hurt them. But I'm the first one. I even, let the Lord know, you hurt me taking Benny. We were in such a good place. I had retired. He had been retired for a number of years. And we would just lay up and just talk about it. Never in my million years would I had ever thought that last conversation
Would have been the last.
was the last conversation. Was the last conversation.
And
So,
we don't
yeah,
know.
we don't.
We think going back, if you let them come back, I'll do this, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And you think sometimes, well, if I knew this was going to be the last day, I would have done this, I would have done that. We can't do anything with that
Can't do it.
knowledge.
No, we can't.
We can't do anything with that knowledge. Had we known what would be the last day, and then it'd be something else.
Right.
I wish I
That
had
is
known
true.
for a month. I wish I had known for a year. So that again is part of the bargaining.
It is.
You touched
It
on
is.
the depression, and I do believe that is something that is very taboo with I used to think it was just our culture, but I come to find out it's a very taboo subject with a lot of cultures.
Yes, it is.
Because counseling and therapy are words that we shy away from. We don't want to go talk to somebody. We won't, and this is no disrespect to us as Christians, because we feel like many times we can pray and talk to the Lord
Yeah.
about everything.
Yeah.
But the Lord put therapists
Right.
and counselors and even medication
Right.
here for a reason.
And people also in our lives for us to throw off on, and you know, because I went to counseling after my mom died. I thought I was okay. I literally thought I was okay, and it was one word uttered to me when I went back to work. Are you okay? I broke. I broke, and a girlfriend of mine told me, she said, you might need to go talk to somebody. And I told her that, I said, I don't need to go talk to anybody, but I did. And for 6 months, and what's so ironic about it, we didn't just discuss grief.
Right.
We discussed things that happened in childhood, everything that happened, you know, maybe from first grade to how we got here at this moment. So it helps to go talk with someone. It helps. Now, I didn't with Benny, but I was encouraged by someone who's very close to me that maybe that's something I need to do, but I haven't as of yet. But just dealing with the absence of him, and oh God, it just seems like when I enter my bedroom, I can just smell him some days. It's like, and it's not so much cologne, the sweaty day. It's like your senses are aroused, you know. It's like the days him coming in from work, you know, the sweat, when he take a shower, just nothing. It is really something, but I just embrace all of that.
You should.
I embrace all of that.
Because our memories, our mind, the mind is a powerful
It is powerful.
thing. So when you can think something and then smell it and
Yeah.
then see it,
Yeah.
the mind is very powerful. And
It's
those,
true.
again, I think those things are the things that keep us going.
It is.
They keep us motivated
is.
to live.
Yeah.
They keep
Purpose.
us motivated to
Yeah.
continue to experience life,
Yeah.
even when things have changed. There is a lot of being said now when we talk about depression and people going through things because suicide
Right.
is on the rise. I know there was a lot of talk about Twitch, the DJ for
Right,
the Ellen
right.
show,
True.
about people thinking that he had it,
Had it
everything
all.
that he needed.
Yeah.
You know, a wife, new baby, young children.
Yeah.
It looked like he had a fantastic career. It was just loving life, and he committed suicide.
Committed suicide.
So we really do. You and I were talking earlier. You have to check on your strong friends.
You have to check on your strong friends.
Yes, the people that you feel like, oh, they got it, oh, they can handle it. Those of us who people always depend on to
Right.
be the strength for them,
It's true.
we get weak at times
do.
too. And that's one of the things I think Lily and I have always had in common. We are sunshine sisters for sure
are.
because
We are.
we're usually bubbly and lively. We love to dance. We
Yeah.
love music. We love to laugh.
Yes,
So
we do.
people think that we're strong,
Right.
and we are to a degree. But check on your strong
Check on me.
friends.
Check on me.
Yes.
I would love it. I would love a
Yes.
phone call. I would love a text every now and then because there are days that I need that. That gets me through that day sometimes.
That's
So,
it. And one of the things we need to acknowledge is when God puts it on your mind,
Mhm.
somebody on your mind,
Reach
that
out.
means, yes, reach out to them. Call them. There have been so many times when someone has been on my mind, when I reached out to them, I needed that.
Mhm.
And vice versa. People, you were just on my mind. And I needed that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
needed that.
Yeah.
So we really do. We are still, again, in the holiday season. This is the first of the year. I'm not making any New Year's resolutions.
I never do.
I don't either. I don't either. I grew out of that because many times what the resolutions that we make are the resolutions that we break. I just want to always do better than I did the year
Yeah.
before.
That is true.
So a
That
lot of
is true.
things that I just want to be better at. Transitioning into some different things. Lily has transitioned
Yes, I
before me. So I am grateful. I just want to, before we end, I just want to go back to the fact that you do need to check on your strong friends.
Yes.
I just want to go back to that for a minute because, y'all, it does not have to be a certain season. It doesn't have to be a certain time. Let us not feel like we have to put a time frame on grief and that
Sure.
process because that is truly something that we'll continue to go through. But depression, when we think about it, anything can trigger that. I was sharing with a friend of mine that I can remember the very first Christmas as an adult that I spent without my mother. Look back on that whole situation and realize that I was in a state of depression. Those things can ease up on you, and if you're strong enough, you can work your way through it. And I don't say that to be disrespectful in any way, because there are some people, what we can go through that's temporary, that is their lifestyle.
That's their lifestyle.
That is where they are 24/7. So let us be mindful of that. And when I say check on your strong friends, check on your friends. Just check on your friends.
Check on us.
Yes, check on your friends. So I want to encourage people in 2023 to be the best that you can be. Check on your strong friends. Check on all your friends. Be good family. Be good friends. And one of the things I think you said, Lily, that we had to remember, when we were kids and somebody hurt our feelings, we didn't mind telling them. Skylar is 4, so I hear, Mimi, I'm not your friend. You made me mad. We did that when we were children.
That's
as
true.
we got older, we felt like we didn't have to.
Yeah.
But those are some of the things that you need to be able to verbalize to your friends. Either
That's
you hurt
true.
my feelings, I needed you, I need you, come see about me.
That's true.
So if you all are not seeing about us, we will let you know to come see about us.
That's true. Because we will internalize all
it.
of that stuff. And when it comes to the surface, we're not good.
That's it.
We're just not good.
That's it. So don't let people have to let it come to the surface.
True.
Let's deal with it before it's an explosion.
It is. That's what I didn't want to say.
But we had some things we just have to say. But I want to thank you all for tuning in to Naturally Me. I have enjoyed our conversation. Lily will be coming back.
Yes, I will.
Because we have so many things to discuss. She is currently working at Turning Point of South Arkansas.
Yes.
This year, the ball will be on January the 28th. And so Turning Point is going to be our beneficial, or they're going to be the organization that will benefit from the proceeds.
Thank you.
From the ball this year. And this is the Mayor's Ball 2023. This is the finale. So we want to encourage you all to come out. We're balling to the end. $50 for a ticket, $50 to reserve a table, and we do have sponsorship levels. We are on Eventbrite. If you go to Mayor's Ball 2023, the finale, you can find it there. You can click on that link, or you can go to my Cash App. It is $ Veronica Creer, or to my Zelle, which is 870-315-1459, which is also my phone number. Or you can contact Terry Davis at 404-542-1565, and I think my email address is Roni, R-O-N-I, the truth about Roni, RONI 332003 at yahoo.com if you want more information. But we are looking to have a good time on the 28th. We are balling to the end. Let's ball out. Last call for the Mayor's Ball. It's all of that. And the proceeds are going to go to an amazing organization. So
Thank you.
when we talk about grief and depression and all of that, we want to be able to help some people who have gone through domestic violence. And y'all, it's not just women. There are some men. There are
True.
some families.
True.
So we want to be a blessing to them. So again, thank you, Lily, for being
Thank
here.
you for the invite.
You are welcome.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you for not only being my sunshine sister, but for being my friend.
But thank you. I feel the same way.
So I hope you all have enjoyed it. Looking forward to continuing to be naturally me. So you all be blessed. Be a blessing. Do it on purpose and do it with purpose. Because we can.